Welcome back to On the Sideline. Thanks for joining me. I'm your host, Kean Lee. In this week's episode, we recap the entire Super Bowl 60. We also give my thoughts on why the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. We're also going to be doing our final grades for every single NFL team and what should every team should do this offseason. Well, that's all coming up right here, right now on the side. So before we get started in today's video, I kind of want to address the elephant in the room here. I know it's like 12:15 p.m. US West Coast time here. I'm actually overseas right now. I'm in South Korea right now. So I know you probably don't see my background right now, but if you're wondering like, oh, where are you, Kevin, and stuff like that, I'm in South Korea. All right. And unfortunately, I have some very sad news, ladies and gentlemen, and that today is probably the final video on my channel for a while now, I think, until maybe the NBA playoffs. So I don't know if I'm gonna go back to that. But yeah, this is my last ever on the sideline video. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I had a really fun time making this. Will I do it again next season? Well, we should just see. Anyway, starting with the Seahawks and the Patriots, I mean, this game was not even close. You got Sam Darnold going for 202 yards and a touchdown. Kenneth Walker the third had 27 carries for 135 yards. Receiving was led by Cooper Kupp, but AJ Barner caught the lone touchdown. And this was a defensive slugfest. You got Devin Witherspoon getting the sack, 2 sacks from Byron Murphy the second, 2 sacks from Derek Hall. Riley Mills had a sack. Then you got interceptions from Julian Love, Uchi Nwosu. You got fumble recovery from Derek Hall and Byron Murphy, you know. And then, of course, Jason Meyer kicks 17 out of the 29 points. As for the Patriots, I mean, even though it was a really bad game, Drake May was decent. He threw for 295 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rushing was led by Drake May with 37 yards. Receiving was led by Mac Hollins with 78 yards and a touchdown. And outside Milton Williams, they could not do anything. So yeah. So let's talk about the Super Bowl. I mean, I honestly think this was one of the most shocking Super Bowls I've seen, in terms of the opponent and the outcome. But Seattle's really good. I will admit. They are one of the best teams in the league. Like you look at their roster, they don't have a ton of weakness, I would say. I would say maybe their tight end room is their biggest weakness, but like we just saw, like they could win in multiple ways. Their defense is obnoxious to play against. I do think this team is going to be good, you know, for the foreseeable future. Now, will they win it? Will they win Super Bowl 61? That's going to be for a whole nother video. So, yeah. So, what are your guys' thoughts on the Super Bowl? Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, so now we're going to get into our final grades. I know, final grades for every single NFL team towards the end of the season. Now, keep in mind, these are my own opinions. So if you like want to be like, why do you give this team this grade? Why do you give this team that grade? It's my own opinion. All right, so we have the tier list right here. We have the bottom tier, which is like F, so like F minus, F plus, D minus to D plus. Then we have the C minus to C plus range, and then we got B minus to B plus. And then, of course, we got the A minus to A plus. So let's start with the Eagles. I'm gonna give them a D. All right, I know they haven't. I know they won. They became the first team since 2008 to win the AFC NFC East, but I wasn't impressed with them, especially with how their offense was playing. Their defense was amazing, but I just felt like they didn't play well this season at all. The Packers. I'm not gonna lie, as you can see here, I'm wearing my Packers shirt right now. I'm gonna give them a B. All right, injuries killed us towards the second half of the season, and I still have PTSD over the Bears and the Packers game three. So soon, if you're watching this video, do not rub it in. Baltimore. I'm also gonna give them a D plus. All right. I mean, they fought hard. They fought really hard towards the end, but it just like it felt like their defense just costed them the game in almost every single game they had. The Bucks. I would go C plus. They were okay. I mean, it's just I think the Mike Evans and Chris Godwin injury kind of derailed their season a little bit, and also they did not look good at all. The Commanders. I mean, D plus. I mean, they struggled. They. I think the injury bug just bit them so hard this year. Like it's not even funny how bad the injury bug was this year. I do think they're bound for redemption. The Texans, another like D plus. That offensive line is so god awful. Is like atrocious. Like I'm not saying this to downgrade anybody. Their offensive line is so dog shit. I'm shocked that they make the playoffs this year. The Cowboys. I'm gonna go B minus. I know it sounds crazy, but like defensively, they played really well after the trade deadline, and their offense, as we know, is very explosive. The Jets. F. I mean, did you know this team did not register a single interception this season? Yeah, that's crazy. Raiders and also an F plus F, like one of the worst teams in the league this year. They have the number one overall pick. Self-explanatory. The Panthers. I'm gonna give them a B. This team, I know I said in the preseason this team was gonna be good this year, but like this team like showed me that they're capable of playing with the big boys. The Falcons. D. All right, they had some good wins on their schedule, but they've also had some really bad losses as well on their schedule. The Chargers. I'm gonna also go B as well. It's just their offensive line just could not stay healthy, man. It's sort of like the Packers in the aspect of their offensive line could not stay healthy. Dolphins. I'm gonna go F here. Like this team is like the AFC's version of the Eagles in terms of they're just like so miserable right now. You know, Browns also F. Running through three quarterbacks in one season and find who was your best coach in a long time. Yeah, that's not good. The Patriots, A minus to A plus. This team was good this year. They exceeded my expectations. They even made the Super Bowl, even though they got absolutely hoed. This team's gonna be good. Don't worry. The Lions. C. They were okay. They played spoiler, which I predicted, but they weren't. We knew that they were gonna be good, but I did not expect this. Titans. I mean, F. Find a coach and like doing absolutely nothing to help your young quarterback. Yeah. Giants. In terms of from my expectations, an F. Like I said that before the season, the Giants were going to be one of the most annoying fourth place teams in the league, because of their defense. Turns out none of that happened. The Broncos, B plus. Actually, no, we're gonna go A. Like this team surprised me a lot this year. Not only did they get the number one seed, but they also made it to the AFC Championship game. And if the snow wasn't there, this game would have been a lot more interesting than a 10-7 ball game. The Vikings, F. I mean, I did not expect this team to be this bad. I'm not gonna lie. I like I knew like this team was gonna be good. Like they were gonna be like the Giants in terms of like they were like the most annoying fourth seed team, but I wasn't expecting this. 49ers, A minus. This team like was played out of their minds this year. They played out of their minds this year, especially with all the injuries. The Rams. Rams, I'm gonna go A minus as well. They were impressive this year. They were really good this year, and I was really impressed with how they played, especially Matthew Stafford, who won MVP. So yeah, Seattle, another A plus. They won the Super Bowl. They exceeded my expectations. They were really good. Bills. I'm gonna go B minus. I mean, this team is just I don't know if this team is cursed or I don't know how to describe this team. Jaguars. Yeah, I'm also gonna go A. I'm gonna go B just because I picked this team to win this division before the season started, but I now think this team is gonna be dangerous next season. The Bears. Yeah, yeah, I'll give them yeah, sure, A plus. I hope you're happy. You know. Steelers. I'm gonna go B. I know they didn't win this year in the playoffs, but like I think if they run it back next year, I think they might be good. Bengals, D plus. I mean, this team was ass, again. And honestly, it really bothers me to see this team like, sorry, um, I don't know how to describe it. The Chiefs, C plus. They were bad, but I didn't expect them to be this bad. The Cardinals, another F, self-explanatory. The Colts. B. This team really impressed me this year. So I would say they really shocked me this year. I want to say A, but unfortunately, like losing Daniel Jones kind of hurts. And then of course the Saints. I mean, I'm gonna give them a C because they showed me that they're still that annoying team that you don't want to face against. So yeah, those are my final grades for every NFL team this offseason. Moving on to our next segment, we're gonna be wait, I had a off season. Yeah, I have it right here. Okay. So we have a tier list right here. Well, actually, we're gonna grade all the first year head coaches. Okay. So let's start with every first year head coach, you know. So so let's start with he was, excuse my language, fucking ass. Like he was not that good. Then they were mid. He was mid. He did okay. He tried his best and then he did amazing. So keep in mind this is gonna be rapid fire. So we're gonna start with Aaron Glenn. He was ass. I don't think he was that good of a coach. I'm kind of annoyed that he didn't want to bring back Aaron Rodgers, even though he played really well post Achilles. But I don't know, man. Ben Johnson, he was amazing. I mean, what? I mean, self-explanatory. Brian Schottenheimer, he did okay. He did okay. You know, Kellen Moore, he was mid. I mean, but it is what it is. Liam Cohen was amazing. Mike Vrabel, obviously amazing. And then, of course, Pete Carroll, he was ass. So those are my ranking for every single first year head coach. So now we're gonna get into our off-season basics for every single NFL team heading into this season. You know, keep in mind these are my own opinions. So if I say something that your team already has, I'm sorry. So let's start with the upper tier, which is do absolutely nothing because I think their roster is fine, or what can this roster even do? Then they could do something, but I like where this team's head for next season. They need this, meaning, and I'll tell you what this is. And then we have just run it back, and they gotta do something, or else all hell is gonna break loose, and then blow this team up. Make sense? All right. First up, we got the Cowboys. Uh, I would say they could do something, but I like where this team is headed for next season. Obviously, they're like their team is still gonna be good. I think this team's still gonna be good. Now, will they be able to do well is the question. The Giants. They could do something, but I like where this team is headed for next season. I really like this team, especially with John Harbaugh as the head coach. We shall see. Jets. Blow this team up, man. This team is a mess. Self-expl All right. The Saints do absolutely nothing. I think this team's going to be good next year. I don't think they're going to be as good as like a playoff seed, but they're going to be good. The Colts. Presumably, if they could find a decent backup quarterback, just run it back. All right, this team was really good last year before Daniel Jones got hurt. So I would say they just run it back. Titans. They need a true number one wide receiver on this team or something. All right, this team I think is capable of being good next season, but I don't know how good is good for Titans fans. Bears, they do absolutely nothing. I hate talking nice about this team, but just do absolutely nothing. Dolphins, they gotta do something, or else hell break is gonna break loose. That's all I gotta say. Chiefs, just run it back. I mean, losing Mahomes sucked, for the majority of the season. So just run it back. The Cardinals blow this team up. Actually, no. Just run it back. Just run it back. I think this team's gonna be good, but I don't think they're gonna be as good as what people are saying it is. Um, the Chargers. Offensive line help. Like their offensive line was god awful this year, so I would say offensive line need. Falcons do absolutely nothing. I mean, this team I think is still gonna be good next year, but like I said with the Saints, like what is their definition of good? Patriots, offensive line help. All right, this team was shown that their offensive line is not that good. Packers, corners. All right, we have a lot of talent on our defense, and also if we release Rashawn Gary, pass rusher. Ravens, just run it back. I think this team is still gonna be good. But like unlike the Saints and Falcons, I know what to expect from the Ravens. I think they're gonna be even better this year. The Bucks. They could do something, but I like where this team is heading next year. Like injuries costed them once again this year, so I think they're gonna be fine. Vikings. Um, they need a quarterback of some magnitude. I think this team is just because I know for sure if they have another losing season, I think Justin Jefferson's gonna want out. The Rams. They could do something, but I like where this team is headed for next season. Obviously, they need a corner if I'm not mistaken. Like they have everything, but I think they're gonna be fine. Broncos, they need this. They need a true number one wide receiver on this team. I've been begging this team to get the Broncos a true number one wide receiver, and unfortunately, that has not happened yet. The Bengals, they got to do something, or else all hell is gonna break loose. Like this team right now, in my opinion, is just I don't even know how to like describe this team, man. Like they're good, but like their coach is the problem, is what I gotta say. Steelers. I'm gonna assume if Aaron Rodgers comes back, they could do something. They could do something by like where this team is headed for next season. Like, but if not, obviously they need to get a quarterback and a wide receiver too. The Seahawks do absolutely nothing. They're the Super Bowl champions. Self-explanatory. The Texans, offensive line out. Their offensive line is atrocious. I would argue that it's probably worse than the Chargers and the Patriots, but yeah. The Browns. Honestly, I don't know where to put them. I would say just run it back. Maybe get a wide receiver one for Shador Sanders and or Dylan Gabriel, but I would say that. Raiders. Get a true number one wide receiver. I know that they're gonna go after a quarterback this draft, but also get him a true number one wide receiver on this team. The Eagles. They gotta do something, or else all hell's gonna break loose. You know, the 49ers. Um, get a true number one wide receiver on this team. I think they released Brandon Ayuk, so I think that's self-explanatory. But yeah, just the Jags do absolutely nothing. I like where this team is headed for this season. Actually, I'm gonna put the Cardinals here. I love this team. Their offense is talented. Their defense is good. They do absolutely nothing. Panthers. They could low key do something, but I like where this team is headed for next season. Like I know, like defensively wasn't they weren't that good, but I feel like they have a lot of talent on that defense. The Lions just run it back. I mean, like I said, it was sort of like the Ravens and the Bucks in the aspect of like the injuries just cost them again this year. The Bills, they need this. They need a true number one wide receiver on this team. Like Josh and maybe I'm gonna actually double check my phone for this information if I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, let me double check my phone for this. So let me see. Let me actually check the I'm actually gonna check the score of the Super Bowl and see what it is. Let's see if we can find it. Okay. I mean, we just saw there's gonna be games where like James Cook is shut down, where Josh Allen is limited. They need a true number one wide receiver on this team. And finally, Commanders just run it back. Injuries costed them this season. Just run it back. So yeah, those are my offseason basics for every single NFL team. So now for our final segment for this year, we're gonna do our way too early before free agency slash offseason slash draft uh like standings for every single NFL team. So as you can see here, we have the tiers right here. We have the AFC East, AFC West, all the way up to the NFC North. So let's start with the AFC East. I got the Jets at 4, the Dolphins at 3, the Bills at 2, and I got the Patriots at 2 and the Bills at 1. I still think the Bills are going to be the best team in that division. I will say their division, unless they get a number one wide receiver on this team, I cannot put them as high. But compared to these other teams, I still think they're the best team in that division. AFC West, I got the Raiders at 4, the Chiefs at 3. Actually, no, the Chargers at 3. Chargers at 3. The Broncos at 2, the Chiefs at 3, the Chargers at 2, and the Broncos at 1. Assuming Mahomes is ready to go for week 1, which I don't think he is, but like we'll see what happens, what they do this offseason. But I still think they're still going to be good. Will they make the playoffs this year? That's a we'll see for now. But I got the Chargers and the Broncos because I just think they're more talented than the Chiefs. AFC South. This division is probably the easiest division to figure out. I got the Titans, the Colts, the Texans, and I got the Jags. I still think the Jags are the best team in this division. I think they have more talent than anyone in this division. You know, I think they're going to win the AFC South. AFC North. Again, this is my way too early. All right. I'm going where do they go? Oh yeah, I got Browns at 4, Bengals at 3, Steelers at 2, presumably if Aaron Rodgers comes back. And I got the Ravens at 1. I just think the Ravens right now, they were just so depleted with injuries this past season. Like, you got to give them credit. NFC West. Give me Arizona, San Francisco, San Francisco, the Rams, and the Seahawks. All right. NFC East. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Giants 4, Eagles 3, Cowboys 2, Commanders 1. I think the Commanders are gonna win this division, presumably if they cut a lot of salary, because right now they're financially screwed. NFC South. Give me the Saints, the Bucks, the Falcons, the Panthers actually, and the Falcons. And then finally the NFC North. Vikings, Bears, Lions, and then of course the Packers. So those are my way too early NFL predictions for this upcoming season. Let me know in the comments section below. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video because I enjoyed making it. If you did, please get a like, subscribe, turn that post notification bell. This is probably going to be my last video before maybe the NBA playoffs. But I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe and stay warm out there. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.